Hi, I'm Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and we are here today with Leilah Franklin. Hi, Leilah.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Please, anytime. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. Yes.
Excellent. What is that particular thing in your life that has you more passionate?
I think right now, I'm 24, so I'm in that transition of understanding where I came from and really having this opportunity to go forward and figure out what I'm doing with my life, essentially. And so, these past couple months, I've had these spiritual experiences, and I would say awakenings almost. And so for me, it's sort of figuring out what that is. I'm really lucky because my mother's someone who experiences other strange things and occurrences. And so I think if I didn't have her, I would be in a place where I'd be really lost and confused by the spiritual world and what that is. And so right now what I'm most interested in is exploring that with her and figuring out, what does that mean as I go forward in this world, and that, talking about it. So I'm interested in talking to people about their experiences and creating more of like a common ground around it so people aren't afraid.
Are there other people around you that have had similar experiences as yours?
I think so. I've had people be like, oh, something weird happened to me, and then they're like, but it's nothing. And you're like, okay, but what if it's not nothing? And like, I'm not going to pretend like I know what it is. But, once you start talking about something and looking at it and creating dialogue around it, you can explore it a little bit more instead of shutting it off.
Can you share with us one of those two experiences?
Sure. So I started having dreams, and some of the things that would happen in my dreams would come out in real life, and I wouldn't know until it was happening. I'd be like, oh, that's what that dream was sort of relating to. And then I got really scared because it makes you question, everything that you're taught, essentially. My whole history of growing up as a kid and just, learning in the religious background that I did. Not that spirituality wasn't explored, but it wasn't like, I grew up in Los Angeles, which is more comfortable than probably most states in the United States in regards to this stuff, but definitely not talked about. And so I got really scared at first.
What were those dreams about?
Well, it's hard to talk about, okay, because it's still very scary, and I don't want to scare people, So about 2 months ago, I had a dream that a friend of mine was in this building, and it was on fire. And I remember thinking, like, trying to help them get out of there. And I didn't know how to save them or what to do. And I was like, okay, that was a dream. It's fine. 2 months later, I saw a picture of this person in a house similar to that, but their house wasn't surrounded by fire. It's actually my house that was surrounded by fire. In real life, there was a fire about 10 feet away from my mom's house, the biggest fire in California. And it was just, I refused to pretend like these things aren't happening, like the dreams aren't consistently relevant, or the experiences I have aren't something to be looked at and questioned. And I think everyone has the capability of having spiritual experiences like this and looking into that. I think I just happened to trip up on it and open my eyes a little more towards that world. But I don't think I'm special because of that. Just for the record.
No, that's good. Do you think that's related in some way with your life purpose?
It must be. I think, you don't want to go out on the branch and be like, I think I'm still scared to be like, this is where I'm going with my life. But I can't ignore it, so I would say it's presenting its own path in that direction, yes.
You're talking about fear a little bit today.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a fear that other people your age also have right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a culmination of fears. I just graduated college. You know, the job market, figuring out what am I doing, how to make money, and how to also like have friends and somebody that I love and want to be with. And it's scary. It's, for me personally, it's been it's scary to go out and do that, and especially because, you know, I've really had to turn off the news, not because I want to be blind to what's going on, but I almost feel manipulated by it at this point to a certain extent. And I think it's a scary time. I do.
And you think your friends and people your age have a similar way of thinking?
I think, and just because I'm American and in the political sphere, I think when we saw the most recent election, I think at least I was like catatonic for 5 days, just really in shock, and it woke me up even a little more, just being like, oh, you know, if you're not active and doing something and voting, it'll go to the hands of somebody else. And you have to take responsibility for that. And I think that also propelled me to be like, okay, so your choices are serious. What you choose in your day-to-day life is serious enough and has to have enough purpose. Because if it doesn't, something else will take over.
You mentioned at the beginning that your mom has played a very important role in your life, and you have her no matter what.
Yeah.
And she probably grounds you as well.
She does. She does.
Do you think that people your age, they have the same luck as you do?
I hope so. I don't think so. Not all the time. I think there's a lot of fear coming from parents as well, given the economy and money and jobs and things like that. And I hope people feel comfortable enough to talk to their parents about these things, but we're so convinced to be one-track minded about success and taking care of things, and, you know, all in good hopes for everyone's children. But if you're a kid like me who you're having these experiences, you're not looking to be like a hedge fund manager all of a sudden. Maybe you are, and like, power to you, go make that money. But like, that shouldn't be the only thing you're focusing on. And I hope that there becomes a safe space between parents, but I don't know if it's there yet. I think it'll be our job as young people to bring it there. Like, you know, don't be afraid to talk to your parents about these things. And they don't have to agree with you, but you should never hide your voice or what you're going through.
And do you think that your young men have the same kind of attitude towards life as young women have today? What do you think?
I don't know.
What about your friends?
My male friends, I mean, I'm lucky to have very close friends, men and women, and we share the same dialogue about these things. You know, we're friends because we're curious, and we share similar interests. So in regards to men and women being different on the subject, I don't know in terms of spiritual quest. I don't know if it's different for each, but I don't think one more than the other.
In general, would you say that, you know, you call yourself a meditation teacher, which is amazing, you know, at your age to be a meditation teacher. So definitely that means that you really value meditation as a way of connecting and grounding yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
It's had to be. Like I said, it's been a really important part of quieting my mind and settling back in, and just feeling back in my body. I think a part of some of the fear would come is I'd like almost escape my body. I'd be dislodged from it. And so meditation helped me come back into the present in a way that I find is like paramount to my survival at this point.
To your survival?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Why so?
Because if I'm not in my body, then I'm not here, and I have to be here. Because, yeah.
What do you do for fun?
What I do for fun? I love watching movies. I love hanging out with my friends, and I really love to read, and I love to write. And if I write something that I'm proud of, I'm in a good mood for the next 2 days. It's like, I'm thrilled.
So you are a creator.
Yes. Yes.
When you go, I mean, you have, what would be the right way to phrase this? You have very big boots to fit with your mom and your dad, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and you have a brother, is that right? I think your mom said you have a brother. So, how do you guys deal with that?
We have really good dinners. We have really great conversations. Like, I'm so lucky. I look forward to being with my mom and my stepdad and my brother because, you know, we talk about politics and that goes into spirituality and physics, and, you know, we're always thinking, we're creating together and thinking of new ideas and, you know, trying to help each other. And I'm so lucky because of that, because everyone is like, oh, you're working on that? Oh, here's my idea. And it, you know, it's very collaborative in the household. And that's so special. So special. And fun and exciting. And because we're a little Irish, it's there's like a little kick to it. You know, we like to have fun with each other.
Excellent. I would like to finish this conversation with you, Leilah, before, you know, asking you to do me a favor, which is actually ask for, as I did with your dad, to please, you know, talk to your audience. There's plenty of young people out there that are probably in the same situation. They just finished college, they just graduated, and they have their entire life before them, right?
Yeah.
And so mostly women.
Yeah.
So what would you like to suggest them or to tell them, you know, to the girls that are a similar position as you and they have their entire life ahead of them?
Yeah. I would say really live your truth and find what that means to you and write about it and talk about it. Because someone might read what you write or hear what you say, and it makes them feel safe enough to come out and say what they think and what they've experienced. And, you know, when we're silent, somebody else is winning. And, you know, your life is your garden. So please just talk what speaks to your heart. That's my blessing for everyone and for myself. And I have to remind myself it's not easy. You know, it's easy to be quiet or be like, oh, I don't need to address this, or I'll get over it. Don't get over it. Speak.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Leilah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Again, this is Angel Ribo with Mindalia TV, and thank you very much for being with us today.